billion Kenya shillings. This scale of investment and opportunity is unfolding in each of our 47 counties. Never in the history of our nation has every corner of Kenya witnessed such breadth and depth of development. Critically, this progress is not by unsustainable borrowing, but by the resources generated through the hard work, enterprise, and sacrifice of patriotic Kenyan workers. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I salute you, all the Kenyan workers. It is your effort, your productivity, and your belief in this country that is financing and delivering this transformation. And on this Labor Day, I say thank you to every Kenyan worker for not only believing in our country, but for actively building it, sustaining it, and shaping its future. But beyond the walls we raise and the roofs we build lies an even greater story, the story of work, the story of dignity, and the story of opportunity. The affordable housing program has already created more than 640,000 jobs, and we are firmly on course to reach our target of 1 million jobs under this transformative national project. Our young people are at the heart of this progress, with nearly half of all the workers on these sites under the age of 35. Women hold up to 30% of these jobs, while persons living with disability account for 5% of the workforce, which is well above industry norms and our commitment to inclusion. Businesses thrive and development is truly felt at the grassroots by the people. The transformation we are witnessing in the housing sector is not occurring in isolation. It reflects a broader, deliberate shift taking place across every sector of our country. Today, right here in Japakali, I was here a month ago to start the 370 million market in Mbale. I want to announce that next month, we will be coming to launch the construction of another 300 million shilling market right here in Chapakali. As part of the transformation of our nation. It is the same transformation we see in the education sector, where in just 3 years, we had recruited over 120,000 teachers, and we are delivering 23,000 new classrooms and 1,600 new laboratories are being built, particularly in underserved and rural areas. At the same time, we have introduced a student-centered funding model that places resource of Kuppet is right here. I am sure OU from Kenya National Union of Teachers is right here. And they can confirm that the huge shortage of teachers that was there in 2022, we have done something about it. The gap that existed in teacher numbers, we have hired 120,000 teachers, the single largest recruitment of teachers in Kenya in 3 years by administration. That is a fact. It is the recalibration that is underway in agriculture, where we have established a verified digital register of our 7.2 million farmers. By doing so, we have eliminated and dismantled cartels, ensuring that farmers directly benefit from government support and intervention, including access to subsidized fertilizer, productivity, strengthening food security, and restoring fairness to the farming communities. It is the same spirit of transformation driving the MSME sector. Through targeted initiatives such as Nyota, we have brought over 121,000 young entrepreneurs into the business pipeline, equipping them not just to seek employment, but to create it. And some 800,000 who were previously locked out of the mainstream financial system have now rebuilt their credit profiles and can access their microloans of up to 150,000 Kenya shillings through the bridge facility, the Hustler Fund, opening the door to opportunity, enterprise, and financial inclusion. I say this without fear of any contradiction. 3 years ago, Mumias was in trouble. Sony was closed. Chemelil was in financial distress. Mohoroni was closed. Today, as I speak to you here, all those factories are working. Farmers who used to wait for 1 year, 6 months to be paid for their cane, today they are paid weekly. The workers who used to wait for government to come and sort out their salaries, today they are paid by factories. We have removed middlemen, we have driven out cartels, and we have made sure that farming puts money in farmers' pockets. And I say it is the same transformation we see in the overseas employment program, where through coordinated leadership, policy, and strong global partnerships, we are opening structured, safe, and dignified pathways for Kenyan workers to access opportunities abroad. Supported by a global labor market strategy, bilateral labor agreements with key international partners, and flagship initiatives such as Mkulima Maju, Muhandisi Maju, Dereva Maju, Muuguzi Maju, and Mwalimu Maju, over 583,000 Kenyans have already secured employment beyond our borders, with their rights protected and their futures expanded. It is the same expansion we are witnessing in the health sector, where through bold and decisive action, we have expanded health insurance coverage from as few as 8 million Kenyans just 3 years ago on the NHIF platform to nearly 30.8 million today by the Social Health Authority, bringing close to 65% of our population into the safety of care, compared just 16% under the defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund. This is not marginal improvements. It is a fundamental shift, one that is restoring dignity in times of illness, extending protection to millions of families, and accelerating our journey towards truly universal health coverage. That is why I have absolute confidence in the state of our nation and its trajectory. Let me commend the Kenyan National Union of Teachers. Let me commend it and all the other stakeholders for sitting down with the Ministry of Health and ironing out the differences that were there. I want to assure you, as I did assure teachers when they came to see me, and I do so with all other public servants, that different from the scheme that you had initially, where teachers were only entitled to 900 hospitals. Under SHA, we are making teachers to seek, we are giving opportunity for teachers to seek treatment, not in 900 hospitals, but in 9,000 hospitals across Kenya. We are expanding their cover, and we want to make sure that you can access to level 6 hospitals across Kenya, not just one level 6. Do not be distracted by the noise. Do not be swayed by screaming. The nation is not told in sponsored headlines. It is written in the daily actions of citizens, like the 30.8 million Kenyans who have registered with SHA and the thousands who continue to do so daily. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the Secretary General of KOTU, our elder, Brother Francis Atwoli, for his unwavering advocacy for the Kenyan worker and his consistent support for government programs such as affordable housing. The government values this partnership, and I want to take this opportunity to address some of the concerns raised on behalf of the affordable housing unit has now come down from 10% to 5%. This applies to every salaried Kenyan, and the reduction has already been codified in our allocation framework. This deposit has been codified also in the affordable housing regulations, which were passed in 2025 and have since been applied. Second, on the engagement of workers in the allocation of housing units, every salaried worker by law is eligible and qualified for an affordable housing unit. We only have one rule: one ID, one home. There should never be a situation where one worker gets more than one house when other workers have never gotten a single house. This means you can only benefit once from this program. The pathway to ownership is straightforward. Register on Boma Yangu platform, select a preferred unit, complete the application, and you will be considered for allocation. Many of the Kenyans who have been allocated homes are themselves trade union members, civil servants, teachers, nurses, and disciplined officers. The system does not ask whether an applicant carries a union card before allocating a home. It only asks whether you are a Kenyan worker who has stepped forward to claim what is rightfully yours. I therefore invite KOTU and every affiliate union to actively mobilize their members to register on Boma Yangu apply. The State Department for Housing and Urban Development stands ready to work with KOTU and all the other unions on a structured outreach to campaign, guide every interested worker through the application process. And is delivering results. The National Industrial Training Authority certifies trade qualifications across the country in the affordable housing program. We are formally certifying artisans whose skills were learned on the job. To date, more than 2,000 artisans have been certified through this program, including 180 women. These certifications open the door to formal contracts, higher wages, and the international labor markets the Secretary General has rightfully identified. Let me also confirm to the Secretary General of KOTU that I agree that outsourcing must equally be brought into the ambit of making sure that they treat workers fairly and remunerate them fairly, and that they too pay statutory government payments. On the right of workers enshrined in Article 41 of our Constitution, the right to fair labor practices, to organize and to bargain collectively, let me restate that these rights are not negotiable, and that this government will defend them without compromise. Every worker enjoys the full protection of our labor laws. And in close partnership with KOTU, the Federation of Kenya Employers, and the Ministry of Labor, we will ensure that these protections are not merely written in law, but they are consistently upheld, created unintended friction. In some cases, this led to unacceptable practices by a few facilities, including demands for co-payments or even outright denial of service. However, let me assure all workers, especially teachers and public officials, that those challenges are being decisively addressed. The government has already withdrawn the restrictive tariff mechanisms and initiated a structured nationwide engagement with healthcare providers. These negotiations will culminate in updated agreements that guarantee a seamless zero co-payment. Let me say it again, zero co-payment, walk-in, walk-out experience for all teachers and public officers. I am equally engaged. Finally, in recognition of the sacrifice, resilience, and immense contribution of our workers to the growth and stability of our economy, and with the request that has been made by Brother Atuoli and the labor fraternity, I am going to make some announcements on the increase. But before I make those announcements, wacha nichukue nafasi hii kwa ndugu wananchi wa hapa Vihiga, niseme asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha Vihiga. Asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha Western Kenya. Mimi nilikuwa hapa mwezi moja iliyopita. Tuko na miradi tofauti ambayo yanaendelea hapa Vihiga. Tuko na miradi tofauti yanayoendelea hapa katika Western Kenya. Barabara zenu zinaendelea hapa, na mimi nataka niwahakikishie hapa pale pia tunajenga nyumba 1000 pale Luanda. Hapa Sabatia pia tuko na nyumba 1000 ya watu wa Sabatia ambayo itakuja kujenga. Na vile vile Hamisi, watu wa Hamisi hoye! Pia Hamisi tumepanga mambo ya Hamisi na mbunge wenu Bwana Kimose, na tutakwenda pale kuhakikisha ya kwamba hakuna sehemu ya kaunti hii itakayowachwa nyuma. Mimi pia nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba stadium yenu hapa Kidundu ilichelewa kidogo kwa sababu tulikuwa na watu pale, ilipasa tuwalipe ndio waweze kutupatia ardhi zaidi. I want to now state that we have paid everybody who we needed to pay. We have spent 90 million shillings to relocate the people who are there so that we can have space to build a modern stadium right here in Vihiga. Pia mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba kazi zile zingine zote ambazo tumekubaliana na viongozi wenu na watu hapa Vihiga zitasonga mbele. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie kazi ambayo mimi niko nayo kama kiongozi wa taifa letu la Kenya ni kazi ama nafasi mbili niko nayo. Ya kwanza ni kusimamia transformation ya taifa letu la Kenya. Kuna mjadala mkubwa hapa Kenya ya mambo ya maendeleo katika taifa letu la Kenya, and it is a good conversation that we are having as a nation. We are having a conversation about transformation. Has it happened or has it not happened? That is the conversation we are having. Beautiful conversation. At least we are not having a conversation about ethnicities. We are not having a conversation about religion. We are not having a conversation about other things. We are having a conversation about the transformation of our nation. And I want to say this on this Labor Day. changing. That is the transformation that is happening in our nation. And there is no amount of report, there is no amount of writing long. The transformation of our nation has taken too long. We shouldn't have been here. We should have been in a better place if we have had the courage to make the decisions that will transform our nation. I want to tell the people of Kenya, whatever it takes, whatever the price, I will make the decisions that will change Kenya, because Kenya deserves it. We will be a first world country in our lifetime. Tunaelewana ndugu zangu? Jambo la pili mimi niko naye ya kutimiza ni kuunganisha taifa letu la Kenya. Tumefanya siasa ya migawanyiko kwa muda mrefu. Siasa na ukabila imetusumbua muda mrefu. Ubaguzi imekita mizizi katika taifa letu. Mimi nasema nikiwa Vihiga, it is our mission, it is our divine mission to make sure that we bring all the people of Kenya into one place. Yani katika taifa letu la Kenya,
siasa ya ukabila, siasa ya chuki, siasa ya migawanyiko, mirengo imetusumbua kama taifa.
Waswahili wanatuambia umoja ni nguvu, kutengana ni udhaifu. Na ndio mimi nawaeleza ndugu zangu watu wa Vihiga, Western Kenya na Kenya mzima, ya kwamba nitafanya bidii mbele na nyuma, kulia na kushoto, juu na chini, na Mungu atatusaidia tuunganishe taifa letu la Kenya. Vile nilitengeneza serikali ya broad based kuunganisha wa Kenya, kulete pande zote za Kenya pamoja, mimi nawahakikishia siasa ya ubaguzi na chuki na migawanyiko
haitaendelea tena katika taifa letu la Kenya. It is our divine mission,
fellow leaders, that we work together ndio tuunde serikali 2027 ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Tuondoe ukabila, tuondoe chuki, tuondoe migawanyiko, tuondoe ubaguzi. Kenya tuiunganishe, tusonge mbele tukiwa pamoja. Vihiga hoye! Western Kenya hoye! Kenya hoye! I am pleased to announce a 12% increase in general wages and a 15% increase in agricultural wages. To all Kenyan workers, happy Labor Day. May we continue building this nation together for this and for future generations as we strive to transform Kenya into a developed economy within our lifetime. Asanteni sana, orio muno, Nyasaye mulinde. God bless you.
Hebu tumpongeze rais kwa makofi tafadhali, na niombe tusimame wima tumalizie kofia ambayo sio rasmi. Naomba kwa heshima tuweze kuitoa, tumalizie kwa wimbo wa taifa.